family, make sure that you are not so distracted by nonsense or unnecessary things that you're missing the messages God is trying to send to you. Family, welcome and welcome back to my channel, which is Down to Earth Tarot for now. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and join the conversation down below. Family, this video may be a little bit longer than my talking video, so please hang in there and bear with me, because I know that this is gonna resonate for a lot of people, and somebody's going to get something from this. So I'm going to start off by Friday, I had made a personal decision that, like, okay, this weekend I'm going to spend some time with family. I'm going to do some things, and I'm definitely going to make sure that I make my way to Mass on Sunday, because I'm always messing around, telling myself little lies about, well, if I go on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, it doesn't matter if I go on Sunday. And I know that's wrong. I know that's not even the rules. So I was going to go this past Sunday. So, but I kind of said this to myself as I was going to the movie. Now, I went to go see Saw 10 Friday. So good. See it if that's your thing. And just the fact that it's a number 10, a number of completion, right? The 10 Commandments. So I was like, okay, cool. John Kramer's gone. It's time for me to go to church, get myself together. But even in that movie, so side note, for the people that like Saw, you know what the whole thing is. It's almost like a God complex that he has. Love John Kramer, by the way. But the putting people in these situations that seem impossible, but they're not. Don't put me in one of these traps. So that these people, once they survive or make it to the other side of this thing, this trouble, this issue, they have a new view on life. Like Amanda from Saw 2, right? The drug addict. And she survived the game and all the needles. Anyway, let me not ruin it for people. But with that type of mindset, having this new beginning, like getting the message, as crazy as that is in that way. So I go to the movie. I enjoyed it with the other 10 people that were in there. I went and spent time with my godchildren and my best friend, which was so nice. I came home. I did some stuff around here, got myself together. And then Sunday, I went to Mass. Well, I was supposed to go at 8:30, and then 8:30 rolled around, and then 9 o'clock rolled around. And I was like, I gotta go. Because the night before, Saturday night, after I'd been cleaning, I lit a candle, and this candle almost burned my room down. And I've never had that happen. I had an old Our Lady of Guadalupe candle from before I got baptized. So this candle's over 10 years old. I was like, it's time for me to burn this. Like, I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna go to church tomorrow. Even though I still was kind of on the fence when I was lighting it. And I'm just gonna light it tonight. This one, and I have a guardian angel one as well. That's, again, I bought them at the same time 10 years ago. Because they don't even really look like the candles that you can buy now. That's how old they are. So anyway, I go and buy the candle. Or not buy it, I light it, and I realized that there's too much wax in it. I remember that I burned another candle and poured some of the wax into this, because I'm a candle maker and expert. And so that has backfired on me now. So I had to, every time I lit it, it would go out. So then I had to play with it a little bit, light it, pour some out. I think back into the candle I poured it out of, because I still have that, another plain white pillar candle. And then I put a match in there next to the wick, so it would burn itself down, burn the wick, and it would all be good. Well, that was all good until about 3 hours later when I was asleep, about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, when the smoke detector went off. Scaring my cat out of the bed. I'm ripping the detector off of the wall and the anchors. Turn it off, because the flames are this high above the candle. There's soot on my wall. The wall did not catch fire because it wasn't that close, but close enough for soot to be there. And I was like, okay, definitely got to go. So anyway, Sunday rolls around. Like I said, I'm in bed because I missed the first Mass. I missed the second Mass. And I'm like, I got to go at 10:30. I have to go. And then I actually had the audacity to put something in my mouth. right, maybe like 9:05, 9:10ish, and you're supposed to fast before you go to mass. I'm like, okay, can't go to the 10 o'clock. There's a 10:31 on the north side of town. So I'm like, okay, because I just used the Find Mass app. So I just put it in my GPS, and I get it going, get dressed, do the whole thing. So I go to this church, never been there before, because it's not the one that I typically go to, because remember, I miss those masses. So I go there. I'm a little confused. I followed some people in. But like the way things were going down, it just seemed like maybe there was something else going on somewhere else. So I asked for help where I needed to go. They directed me. Everybody was very nice. So I get to the mass. I sit in the back because I ain't been here before. And plus, I'm tall. I'm a tall person. So I don't like to sit in places where there are going to be small old ladies behind me and they can't see. So I find a spot in the back that's kind of low key. There's actually some old ladies all around me, but not behind me. So I sit down. I see a missal there. I see all the things. I'm like, okay, cool. Everything's going good. It was a nice church. It had a lot of cool stuff going on, but it was different. I noticed that there were certain points in the mass where I was definitely, lost in the sauce. Didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, why am I confused? But maybe it's because I was kind of in a rush. Maybe I'm just discombobulated because I'm in a different place and I was kind of turned around, got into two lines that were going to the same place, and was confused. So my knee. Oh, I have legs. So I enjoyed it. They released us from the mass. I go to, what did I do? Well, first thing I did is I went to McDonald's to get a mango pineapple smoothie. My favorite thing right now. That's all I wanted because I was so hungry. So I went and got that, and then I came here home and got dressed to go help my grandparents. I went to my grandparents' house. I helped them with some yard work, and I prayed the rosary. So I've gone to mass and prayed the rosary every day up until today, which is not noon yet, so I don't have to do anything yet. But and it was nice. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go tomorrow. This experience was, I still kept thinking like, girl, you were really lost. Like, were you not paying attention? What was going on? But what did catch my eye was the first song that we sang was song 777 in the book. Now that will come back. Remember that, 777. So, or the number 7. So I'm like, okay, I need to figure that out, like what that is. So anyway, I go, so not yesterday, Monday rolls around. I'm like, okay, I got to go to mass. Got to go to noon mass. So I find a place to go. Well, I'm running a little short on time. I could tell that when I get dressed. If I go to the 12:05 where I usually go, I'm going to be cruising through there late, and I don't want to do that. So I go to another church that's right in the opposite direction down the street. Never been there. I've driven past it. It's a teeny tiny little church, but I've never paid any real attention to it beyond that. So I'm like, okay, I'll go there. 6 minutes away, I get there right at 12:05. So I would have been late. I would have been super late to the other mass, basically, because this one is closer. Yeah, rolling in there at 12:05, 12:10. Shame. So I pull in there and I see no cars. 0. The only car is mine. I'm like, oh, well, maybe the priest rides the bus because there's a bus stop right across the street. So I'm like, okay, maybe they Uber. So I'm like, all right. Didn't stop me. I turned my phone off because, as you know, as somebody who watches this channel regularly, I always have an alarm going off and I don't want to be distracted. And if I had my alarms on this day, I would have been distracted and everything wouldn't have happened as it happened. So I get there and again, nobody's there. And I'm like, is the door even going to be unlocked for me? Because I was about to give up. And the door's cracked. And I thought, Matthew 7:7, an alarm going off. Hold on a second. Like I said, there's always an alarm going off over here. So I see it and I think, oh, knocking the door will be opened. I open the door, dead silent. Nobody's in here. So I'm like, okay. I kneel. I do all the things. I look at, they have a big picture of all the saints there in the hallway. It was so, for such a small church, because it's a small building, even the chapel was small. Like it was a small room, but it was so beautiful. So I'm like, okay. I was kind of feeling like I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing because no one was in this building. No one. So I sat and I said, well, it's going to start in a few minutes. Somebody's going to show up, hopefully. Hopefully it's going to get embarrassing if nobody else shows up and it's just me and the priest. So I'm like, oh, I got time to pray. So I kneel, pray, do my thing. And it's maybe 10 minutes in. I'm like, okay, maybe we're going to start a little late. I'll pray the rosary until somebody taps me or comes in. So there I am praying the rosary. And some point, I'm like on the second mystery, close to or just after. For those that know, if you don't know, it's not a big deal. But the door closes. I can hear that the door closed. And I'm like, okay. Somebody's either come in or they pushed the door closed behind them because it was still kind of cracked as I came in and it closed behind me. It didn't necessarily close shut. I'm like, oh, somebody came in. I'll be wrapping this up soon. I finished the rosary. Nobody's there. So I'm like, okay. So I've been here. If I've completed the rosary and I did 10 minutes of prayer, I've been here about 30 minutes. I realize now nobody's coming to save me. So I'm like, okay. So not only was I late to where I needed to be, so I thought, but somehow there's no mass here. I guess I'm not going to mass today. So then I thought for a little bit, and then I was like, you know, I should pray for this particular person. But then I was like, no, they're all right. Sick. I was like, no, they're good. And then I was like, you know what? Do I really want to be that person today? I said, let me read the back of this missal because it was different. And it was talking about a particular saint I hadn't heard of. So here I am reading it. I said, by the time I get done reading all this, I'll decide whether or not I'm going to pray for this person. So I decide to pray for this person after I get done with this. And then I also asked Matthew 7:7. Ask and ye shall find. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open. I asked for guidance. Give me guidance. I'm not asking you to give me anything but a plan, the steps, the strategy to get where I need to go. Because if you give me something, I'm not going to appreciate it in the same way as if I had earned it and worked for it. That's just a me thing personally. Again, I'm all in this church, which was nice because I got to pray the rosary out loud. Because I think subconsciously I did realize about after that second mission that probably nobody was coming. So I'm looking because behind the pew, I'm looking at the pew in front of me, the back. There's the book that I was looking at was blue. There's 3 other books in the row, like right next to it. And I'm like, what are these little red books? I've never seen these before. I pick it up and it says the Latin Mass. And I was like, good thing nobody showed up because I'm not familiar with the Latin Mass and I'll be lost. So I was like, oh, I should go to Latin Mass one day. Yep. And then something was like, open the book. Open the book. Look at it now. Don't wait. So I opened the book and sure enough, it's a guide to the Latin Mass. So I'm like glancing over it, reading it. And then as I start to seriously read what's on the page, I realize immediately why it is I was lost the day previous in Mass. I had gone to Latin Mass. and that's why I was lost in the sauce, family. So I'm like, okay. So I read the Latin Mass. in English, of course. And a lot of the answers that I was looking for was in the Latin Mass, in the words of the prayers that are slightly different from what I'm used to. A lot of those things were in there. Because sometimes when a crowd is speaking, you can't necessarily get all of the words because you're so caught up in, I don't even know what's going on. So at some certain points, I realized there were prayers that they were saying, things that they were saying that I wasn't familiar with. So I would just pray during those times. And I was like, oh, look at this. Wow. So I'm reading it. I get to read it out loud so I can hear myself throughout the church. Again, no one is here. No one. I got to finish it. I got to say a little prayer at the end. I walk out. No one's in this parking lot. So when the door closed behind me, it must have just been the wind or something because nobody was in here. I leave. I go to my grandparents' house. I sat with them for a little bit, not too long. I left because I had to work out. I prefer to work out after Mass because it is sit, stand, kneel, sit, stand, kneel. And if your legs are blown out, I don't want to be embarrassed, getting up slow. So that's my vanity. So I'll do it after. So I do that. I go back to my grandparents' house and I have a handwritten letter waiting for me when I get there. I'm skipping a step. When I got to my grandparents' house with my great smoothie from McDonald's, I turned my phone back on because I realized when I got in my car, I had been in the church for over an hour. I open my phone, I turn my phone on, I click on YouTube, and this is what it's on there. I'm going to show you. Give me a second. Good thing my alarm went off because I wouldn't have my phone close to me and I'd be too lazy to grab it. See? I take this screenshot. Is there anything? No, that's not it. That's not it. Baby, this is what I see on YouTube. Can you see? Come on, focus. It says the Latin Mass and it shows you see it right there. I said, wow. If I turned on my phone in there, my alarms would have went off. It would have distracted me and I don't know if I would have gotten that message. So again, more confirmation that I was in the right place. The confusion was just on me. All I need to do is be patient, look around me. All the messages were really there. So I said, okay, I guess I got to go to Mass on Tuesday. Go to Mass on Tuesday. Back to the letter. Go back to my grandparents' house after working out. I have a handwritten letter waiting for me, which is weird because I don't recognize the handwriting and I don't recognize this person's name, which it's in cursive. And definitely was a man's handwriting in cursive. And I was like, I don't know this person. And I don't know this person. So opening the letter, it's a message from somebody who's Jehovah's Witness, inviting me into the kingdom of God. Now, what's crazy about this is, if this letter was going to be addressed to anybody, it would have been addressed to my grandparents. Their names are on the house. My name's not on it. I don't live there. It was just addressed to me. My grandfather grew up, my great-grandmother was Jehovah's Witness. So it's like, I need to come back home, get back into church, go to Mass. Looks like we're Latin Massing it up, which is great. So there's that. So I go to Mass Tuesday because every day this month we're celebrating a different saint since it is October Halloween, which I love me some Halloween, but we're going to make a change this year, family. Which is me. I'm not pushing that on you, but for me, I have to make a change. So I go yesterday to Mass, and the message was definitely for me. I got there early, I got to pray, but it definitely had to do with forgiving people and like holding grudges, which I can do. I can do. Like I will forgive you, but sometimes it takes me a long time, forever. Too long to get over things. And the way this priest broke it down almost made me feel a little embarrassed of some of my behavior. It really did. It really did. And it was right on time because my grandma's birthday was yesterday and I had to be around people, and I let a situation go. I let a situation go that was really causing me a lot of emotional distress. I let it go. It's nothing. It was nothing. Let it go. Felt so much better. Had a great day. Got to, have good conversations with everybody, including, these people. It was nice. I was very thankful. I was very, very thankful. Everything fell into place because I was patient. If I had been in a rush, if I had not turned off my phone or I just put it on silent, I would have been distracted. If I had let the fact that no one else was in the parking lot, even though it's time to get saved, family, where you at? I could have left and I would have missed all of those messages. I still would be confused about Sunday. I would still be thinking about that. Dang, why was I so lost? I wasn't lost. I was being redirected. I was being moved. I was being pushed in a way that I needed to find the answers. Family, do not miss when you are being pushed or pulled in a different direction. And God is guiding you, moving you to get a message. I asked and I was shown and received immediately. In that church, in that place, isolated, just me, I was tested. If you give me a guide, I'll do the things. The guide was in front of me. It was in front of me. So family, that's what I have for you today. Receive the messages. Make sure that you're not super distracted. Again, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, giving yourself some time, moving your body. I'm not working out. It's so key. Walk. Do something small. Grow with Joe has so many great low impact workouts. You can do something in 10 minutes. Everybody has 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes to pray. You have 10 minutes to read your Bible or your Quran, whatever it is that you believe in. Because it doesn't even matter. You need to have some type of base. I believe that. So whatever your book is, you need to be reading that. What did I say? Working out, reading, praying. And then give yourself that same allotted amount of time to pray. What is that? 10, 10, 10? And we started with the 10, saw 10, right? But those three things, that's 30 minutes of your day. It doesn't have to be all at one time. 30 minutes of your day, you're giving back to you. If you're smart, it could be 3 times a day. But take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Stay prayed up, which is a protection. And I got a message about that yesterday. I was watching some ducks in the morning because I go out. There's a body of water right outside this window and a few steps. But there was this duck sitting there. And as it was preening itself, there was 6 of them, you could see the ripples on the water. And I was like, that's how it is when they talk about the circle of protection around you when you pray. It was a very clear thought message, to watch these birds and how the waves are. When you pray, you protect yourself from that negative energy. When you are prayed up and you're thankful, and walking in gratitude, right? And, undistracted. And it's not that we'll never get distracted, but as undistracted as possible, right? Keeping the right mindset, that negative stuff can't even touch you because it's got to stand so far outside of, your protected area. And that's what it is. Protecting yourself, treating yourself well, paying attention to the messages. Because they're all around you without you having to, again, go to a tarot reader or an outside person. The messages are right there. Family, and that's all I have for you this morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, hump day for everybody. Let me know what you think. Join the conversation down in the comment section. Please hit the like button. And family, I'll be checking in with you later today. Also, if you want to see the screenshot, I'll be posting that on my Instagram. My Instagram information is down below. My Instagram is private, so you will have to send me a request. And family, I'll be tapping in with you very soon. Keep it real.